What is up, everybody? Duplos here again, and we have what is probably the biggest update that I've ever covered in Raid, at least in the last couple of years. And let's get into it.
It's the Big Ten. This time, we've got an exclusive look at new champions coming to the Argonauts faction.
Speaking of the Argonauts faction, what are y'all thinking of Cassandra? I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's great. I feel like she has her use case in the game, but I don't really feel like she's top tier anywhere in the game. So I guess I would call her just a mid, like a 7 out of 10 champion, like slightly above average, but nothing great. What do y'all think?
As well as a different spin on the Coalition event and several important quality of life updates.
So are we going to be getting a new land boss update? I don't think they've touched Demon Lord in years.
Let's dive into it. Raid will celebrate its 7th anniversary this year. Can you believe it? And this year's theme puts our newest faction right at the forefront. As part of the celebrations, you can expect the Bastion to be decked out in resplendent marble architecture and
That looks cool. I always like it when they update the Bastion. By the way, it does not feel like it's been 7 years.
plenty of awesome events for you to get involved in. The Argolades is a massive archipelago in the southwestern seas, home to the Argonauts. Inspired by a timeless aesthetic, these mighty warriors
So this looks like it's going to be a new champion. We don't have a name or any skill sets, but she looks pretty cool. I mean, she's not like the craziest artist I've ever seen, but, should probably not a void legendary, probably just a standard legendary. And I would assume with that spear, she's going to be hopefully an HP or a defensive nuker because she's got that big old shield. Just going ahead and throwing out my predictions. I say a legendary, force affinity, defense nuker. And probably going to bring a big shield buff to your party.
embody ancient myths and legends. Expect mortal heroes in search of fame.
Let's go back to that last guy.
Warriors embody ancient myths and legends.
I bet he's going to be a rare champion. Maybe even an uncommon, but they don't really do uncommons anymore. But if not uncommon, he's going to be a rare champion. And judging by his weapon, he's probably going to be a squishy nuker. Probably, what do y'all think? Force or magic?
Expect mortal heroes in search of fame.
And here we have another champion. Now, this may even be a void legendary, just because he has that godly aesthetic. And I'm going to say he's probably a CC champ, probably going to put out a lot of buffs and some CC on the enemy team. Probably not fear, maybe stun. Yeah, we're going to go with a CC stun champion, void legendary.
Powerful individuals who have become unwitting idols of worship on distance.
This guy, he has an epic vibe to him. I doubt he's going to be a legendary. I'm going to say a HP epic nuker. And he'll probably self-buff.
Denials. And
Oh, she's got a cool design. I'm kind of torn if she's going to be epic or legendary, though. Since they gave her the unique skin design, she very well could be legendary. And I like that she has like mermaid scales. Her weapon, so she's probably going to be an elemental. Let's go with the magic because the blue affinity would match her skin color. And she also is probably going to be a defensive support champion.
everyone in between. Keep an eye out on.
Now, this guy, he looks like he's going to hit like a Mack truck. We're going to put him in force affinity, and we're going to call him an arena champion. I'm just going to go ahead and predict he is a force affinity legendary arena nuker.
Our news and social media.
And I bet he brings some self buffs that makes him like unkillable or block damage. Now, this guy here, another legendary. He not, I don't want to say void legendary, but the particle effects are there. Like they definitely put enough effort into his design that he could possibly be a void legendary. But if not, we're going to lean into magic affinity legendary champion that is a HP support slash damage hybrid.
Feel more about the Argonauts and the 7th anniversary event when the time comes.
Now, this looks like the fusion. I can't quite tell. We'll get a better look at him in a minute. If he's not the fusion, because I I remember his axe having the fire on it. But this is going to be a force damage dealer that is probably going to put people to sleep. Or he could bring Stone Skin because he's got the Medusa shield and Medusa turns champions into stone. So we're going to go with brings his own Stone Skin and crowd controls the enemy team.
Next up, we've got a new twist.
He might even ignore Stone Skin because if he can turn people to stone, he would have that affinity advantage. Coalition Event World Boss. I love the Coalition events that they do in Raid.
Coming to the Coalition event. In an upcoming first of its kind Coalition event, you'll be facing off against a much tougher variant of the Demon Lord.
Oh, dude, they haven't touched the Demon Lord in years. I cannot wait.
You won't be beholden to keys or energy to take it on. Battles will get progressively more.
What do we got here? You can use any champion without restrictions. Every 5 points equals 10 mil of damage. Over 70.28 mil damage. Okay. You can use any champions without restrictions. 5 points for each 10 mil of damage over 70.28. So what's the difference? I'm not really seeing a difference between the first condition and the second condition. But then you see over here, it looks like you can only use legendary and uncommon champions from the Banner Lords. And I forget what that faction is right there. Let's see what that faction is real quick. Okay. So it is the High Elves faction. So we're only able to use Force Magic defense champions from the Bannerlord and High Elf faction. And they can only be legendary and uncommon. You earn 5 points per 10 mil damage dealt over 70.28 damage. What can we even use from the Bannerlords and High Elf? Like, as far as legendaries go, they have to be magic and they have to be defense champions and they can be force. So we have Helior. But what does he bring that would be good for Demon Lord? I mean, I guess a shield. And whenever an ally has 2 or more debuffs, his champion absorbs 30% of the damage with your own ally. That probably won't happen in Demon Lord because he's not going to be placing debuffs most likely. Who else is even defense in the Banner Lords? So basically, you've got Helior. That's it out of the legendaries that I'm seeing. So he brings a shield. What about an uncommon? I cannot believe we're sitting here doing this. You could bring in Frontline Warrior to put an ally protection out. Fireblade's probably going to be your damage dealer because if I'm not mistaken, she's the only one that can put out like enemy max HP top damage. And she could technically place 3 2.5% poisons. So it's kind of all you're stuck with there. Squire, I don't think he brings anything. Yeah, a 25% decreased attack, but that's hit or miss. You just put on good gear and not worry about the attack. I'm going to say we're going to bring in Commander to fill the turn meter of an ally that's fully healed to try to get Fireblade back around to her A2 quicker. Dude, I cannot believe we're doing this. World Bearer can bring an increased defense on everybody. And that's it. So we're going to do Helior frontline, Helior for a shield, Frontline Warrior for oh, and it can only be dude, can we even use any of these champions? You can use Squire, which is the 25% decreased attack. So we got Helior, we got Squire. Let's see who we get from the High Elves. That's magic defense. You have Oslin. Now, Oslin, she can keep the people alive. She brings the ally protection, the increased defense, puts a counterattack on herself, and then puts a shield on the champion for 2 turns. The shield is proportional to the champion's defense. He also can place a 30% decreased speed out, and the provoke won't matter. But regardless, he'll help keep the people alive. So yeah, don't even worry about the uncommons. Not like we really would anyways. But bring in Oslin for the ally protection and increased defense. Bring in Helior for the shield. What else do we get? Magic or force defense. The Incarnate. She'll bring a strengthen. So it's looking like, as far as keeping your team alive, it's not going to be that hard. But that's really all she's going to do is bring. She don't even revive unless Arbiter's on the team, does she? No. But she is going to bring strengthen, which will be useful. So we're going to get ally protection, a shield, increased defense, strengthen. We need a form of damage. Where is the damage going to come from? If you have Tatura, you don't really need block debuffs. But if you are getting debuffed, I guess you could use him for a decreased accuracy, but I don't really see that being useful. Dude, this is crazy. All I'm seeing is Incarnate, Oslin. Now you can't bring Couture because he's Spirit Affinity anyways. What about in the uncommons? Well, not much. Definitely not on Jaeger. What's Aristocrat do? Well, she's attack though. Dude, there's only like 5 or 6 champions that I'm seeing that you can even use, and none of them are going to bring damage. I mean, Helior is probably going to be your best damage, but I'm only seeing like 7 or 8 champions that we can even use. This is going to be crazy, man. I'm excited to see what plays out here. All right, let's get on with the video. Oh, and if you notice, it shows best damage 59 mil as compared to 110 mil. So, like, they know the damage ain't there. If that doesn't even hit, how are they even getting any points? It says 5 points for 10 mil damage over 70.28. But they've only gotten 55.99 as their best damage. So, are they, is Clarium even able to pull this off?
More difficult as special conditions come into play, and you'll need a well-rounded roster of champions to complete various challenges.
Here we have Legendary, Epic, Force, Magic, Defense, and Support from, looks like, Lizardmen, Spider Faction, Sacred Order, and Overns, maybe? That one, at least you have some damage dealers, and you've got Theodore for some good poisons, Lady Wakage for the ally attacking buffs. Trunda probably be a showstar there. Same with Turbo there. He'll single target nuke. Manaya could be a good one. I'm thinking out of this squad, we're going to run Wakage, Drexstar for burns, Theodore for poisons, Mithrala maybe for some extra poisons, but shield, cleanse, strengthen, stuff like that. And then for the nuker, either Turbold or Trunda. There's also Venus that you could use. And I mean, I don't really know if Nas would be useful here. Maybe to keep your team alive because he brings that block damage and he'll go into his second form and revive people, but he's not killing anybody to get a revive, so no, not really. Still, the Drakes may actually come back and make a performance here. I don't really know Deliana making any use. Georgia could just be damage. It's going to be rough, guys. It's going to be real interesting.
Reaching specific damage milestones in each battle will earn you points, and you'll get extra points if you rack up enough damage to exceed the final milestone. The more points you earn, the better your personal score, and the better the rewards you'll get. Don't worry though, Coalition rewards aren't going anywhere. As the entire community reaches new milestones by taking on this demonic behemoth, everyone will unlock even more goodies too.
Wait, so does that mean it's permanent? Or does that just mean you get it until you complete it and it's gone, but are there going to be reoccurring rewards? They made it sound like it's going to be permanent. If it's permanent, it'd just entirely get rid of the old Demon Lord. I mean, I guess people would still probably use it to get legendary books, sacred shards, stuff like that. But this could replace Demon Lord, which I'm all for, man. Demon Lord has been, I mean, it's old content.
That's the true power of friendship, folks. If you're the competitive sort who likes to pump out the biggest numbers, you can compete against other players in the rankings tab for additional rewards. As we get closer to this new type of coalition event, we'll reveal more details, so stay tuned. Moving on. We've got some quality of life changes that we hope you're going to be excited by. First up is the Live Arena Friendly Battles. This new feature lets you fight friends and clanmates in Live Arena whenever you want. Here's how it works. In the Live Arena window, there'll be a new Friendly Battles tab. You can access it at any time, and you don't have to spend any resources to fight in friendly battle.
Dude, this is huge. I'm assuming it's going to only be like people in your clan, but still, you can go up against people in your clan and be like, oh, hey, this team will work better in Siege. This is huge for Siege and just more like communication and social engagement within your own clan. I wonder if people are going to be clan hopping just so they can be like, yeah, I beat you. Like if content creators and Raid, they're going to be like, this is my best arena team. You can't beat this. And then somebody else will come along and be like, yes, I can. Let's fight it out in the clan.
But you won't earn any rewards either. You can battle your clanmates via the clan tab. If you're looking to start a fight, in a good way, of course, then you can submit an application visible to all your clanmates who check out this tab.
Did y'all catch that there's not going to be any rewards? I don't like that. I feel like even if it's really small, either put a limit on the fights, make it like 10 a day, or make it unlimited, but have very small rewards, but just something like, even if it's just cosmetics, like you win 50 battles to get an avatar or something like that, like something cosmetic.
Someone accepts the challenge, you'll get a notification pop up as long as you're not in an ongoing battle. Accept it, and you can get down to business. If it's bragging rights over your friends you're after, don't worry, we've got you covered. Head to the Challengers tab and search for your friends by their username. Once your friend has added you too, you're good to send them a battle request directly, provided the other party is online and not otherwise engaged. You can only have a certain number of challengers though, so choose your rivals wisely. Once you and your friend have each other registered as challengers, you'll be able to send a direct live arena battle request at any time, provided you're both online, that is.
This could be really big, or it could be a wet fart. Like, there's no rewards to gain, so there's no like incentive to do it outside of the bragging rights that they're talking about. But also at the same time, I know how people are in the community, and they put out a video about like this arena team is unbeatable. Somebody's going to want to make a video about, hey, I beat this arena team. They get into a back and forth on Discord or something, and they can settle it in the arena, and that's pretty cool. It's going to be a very niche section of the community probably that makes use of this after the first month of it being out. But it's cool, man. I like it. I like it.
A feature that's been shaped by feedback from you guys is related to fusions. We're working on allowing you to change a current fusion champion with another champion that featured in a previous fusion or fragment event.
Okay, now this I like. We have needed something like this for a while. Really from day one. There should have been something like this in the game from the start.
Break down how it will work. First, you'll need fusion tokens. You can earn one of these every time you complete a fusion without changing the champion out. Once you have fusion tokens, you can change out fusion champions for the ones you've missed previously.
So yeah, you're change the fusion champion for a previous one, or in fusion token by completing correct fusions. Okay, so you're going to have to do at least a couple of fusions to get enough tokens to do so. But it looks like in the tier 1 champions, like I guess that's top tier champions, they cost 3 tokens, so you'll need to do 3 fusions to unlock one of these. But you've got Titus, you can get Tormund, you can get Sir Nick, you can get Noel. Oh, cool, it's got check marks, so I'm assuming you can't get Dukes though. You can get Emic, Yumikasa, Wixwell, Istrid, Brogni. Wow, that's an old one. Ancora, Armand, Thor, Krokad, Mighty Uko. I didn't even realize he was a fusion. The Rat King, Pythion, Python, whatever. It looks like Fabian down here. That looks like the top of Fabian. You can get Stiffy, or Rhodos. Nude, and that looks like it might be Helicath. I'm not certain. So these are going to be your tier 1 champions. But if you're like me and didn't realize the value of Titus, skipped out on this fusion, it's going to take you like 3 or 4 months to get those because we do 1 fusion. I'd say it probably averages out like 4 fusions every 3 months. Like every 3 weeks, it seems like we're starting a new fusion, or at least it feels that way. But the ones I'm going to go for, because I've already got most of these champions, I'm definitely going to go for the Rhodos. I don't have Sippy either, but I'm going for Rhodos. I've already got 3 newts, so I can't do that. I've got 2 Fabians. I don't have Helicath, but I'm not in a huge hurry to get Helicath. I would love to have Pythion for my Geox Lazarius team. I feel like if I had Pythion, it would bring together Donatello, Lazarius, Geox, Pythion, however you pronounce it. That's going to be a great team. And Yukamasa, I feel like he's a little bit slept on, especially for his faction. That'd be one to go for if you don't already have him. Noel and Sir Nick, obviously. But Titus is going to be my first one to go for, then Pythion, and then Rhodos. At least out of that squad. And I've already got pretty much all the other ones except for Helicath. And I don't have the Rat King, but I've got Cometus, so I'm not really worried about that. I don't have Emic, but not really worried about him. I feel like he's a little underwhelming for a Void Legendary. Now, Istrid would be one I would recommend going for. Maybe not before some of the others, but she'd be worth doing. Armand's, I feel like, pushed out of the meta a little bit now. He's still annoying, but Fabian is kind of like Armand's 2.0, or at least as far as the role he plays in the arena. Newt, if you don't have him, but I feel like with people like Wallmaster and Marius, Newt's being a little bit pushed. He's still great, but he's probably like in the top 5 max HP nukers. You're going to probably go Marius. Single target Newt over Wallmaster, but in Hydra, Wallmaster plus he self buffs and brings block buffs and decreased attack. And then I would say Newt in 3rd place.
Depending on the champion you want to change to, the cost will be different. There'll be
We got tier 2
tiers based on a champion's strength, and changing to them will require.
Okay, so for tier 2, you got that Crossbag or whatever, the bomb dude, Supreme Elhain. I don't remember if that's Constantine or Vlad. I think it's Vlad. You've got that Halloween fusion that revolves around the number 3. You got Tholen. You got Esma. The Mad Hatter. Now, I feel like Mad Hatter's probably be in a tier 3, but I missed out on him, and maybe I'm just overhopping him in my head. You can get the Packmaster Shayak to pair with Cropcat if you don't have him. Razavar, good champion. You got Sarkijos, Otslin, or whatever. You got Mother Savel. Granite Doorkeep's another one that I would recommend going for. A lot of people skipped out on him because he just seemed underwhelming, but then turned out to be pretty A tier. Not S tier, but like A tier. You've got Stock the Broken here. That's one I'm definitely going to be going for. I've got Vizig and a Gizmek, and Stock the Broken would go perfectly. You might even be able to pull an arena team out of that. Stock, Gizmek, Bellatar, and Stock, Gizmek, Bellatar, and Vizig. Yeah. We got the Burna, we've got the Freezer, we've got Tatura, we got Molly. Molly's a good one. I'm not as crazy about a lot of these champions, but I would definitely say there's 4 or 5 of them there.
Either 1, 2, or 3 fusion tokens.
Now, we can't really make out any of these bottom tier here except for Brachus, but of course he would be in the bottom tier.
An ongoing fusion event will be required for this feature to be available. You also won't be able to change to a champion that you've already obtained during their original fusion. Fragment summon, or via shards. And once you've changed once, that's it. You're committed. You can't change the champion again, so choose wisely.
I really like that. I feel like that's a pretty good way to go about it. Yeah, you're going to have to do a couple of fusions to get the tokens up, but then when a fusion comes around that you don't care for, even if it's a good fusion, it may not benefit your account directly, or at least not as much as some of these other fusions will. And the next fusion down the road, you can always go back to it. If there's another fusion that you think would benefit your account more, you can always go back to it in a few months and get it later. So I feel like this is a great way to implement catch-up fusions.
Here's some good news, though. If you changed the champion out but didn't complete the fusion for whatever reason, any fusion tokens you spent will be refunded. And last but not least, our final quality of life improvement for today concerns the Minotaur's Labyrinth. Right now, only 1 champion per battle receives mastery scrolls, and any surplus is lost if that champion is close to the scroll limit.
Yes, that's annoying. I don't encounter that very often, but it is annoying.
We're working on changing that so that surplus scrolls will go to a teammate with the highest number of equivalent scrolls instead. Keep in mind that this only works for champions who participate in the battle.
I gotta say, yeah, that's a great QOL update, but after all of these crazy big events and updates coming up, it feels a little like that could have just been a ninja update, like that didn't have to be like promoted in the video, but whatever, that's cool.
Around and sipping on XP brews in the tavern won't cut the mustard. It's nearly time to draw a curtain on our 10th episode, but
Oh, I don't know who she is, but she looks sick.
You've just got enough time to
Oh, we got another Argonite. I don't know. He might be an epic. I'm thinking maybe not ally protection, but something like a Volgoth type champion
Hold
for
tradition
Boker.
and
Oh, we're going to get a new Sylvan Watchers. He looks pretty cool. Definitely going to be a defense champion, but he looks cool.
show off a quick glimpse.
Oh, is that supposed to be? Yeah, Gil. So that's like merman. So the other lady was like merwoman, mermaid, and this is going to be a merman. You know, I'm going to say he's a support champion. Probably going to be a debuff champion. Put out like a decreased defense weekend or something along those lines. Because I haven't really seen any other champions in the Argonaut faction that looks like they would really do that. But I feel like with that cool and intricate of a design, he's going to bring more than just your standard debuffs. He might even bring something unique to the table. But we're going to call him Legendary Magic.
That's some of our upcoming champions.
Well, what are we thinking? Orc or Ogre and Shrub? Probably Ogre and Shrub. But dude, she's a gruesome champion. You got her eye blown out of her head. I don't even know if she has an eye or other socket, but she's crying like black tar. She's got like a skull bikini bra on, held up by chains and straps because of the monstrous weight coming down on them. That's crazy. You got all these big tusk teeth. You got a broken door shield. So she's just taking it from another champion. You've got these skulls. And look how sharp her toenails are. She could like kick somebody and just rip them to shreds. Also, her weapon, I thought that was just like a cane or something, but no, that's an axe. That's a battle axe. It kind of blends in, but you can see the back end right there of it. And it could be used as a polearm spear. I'm normally not a super huge fan of the Ogre and Tribes, which I think that that's going to be. But dude, she looks sick, man. And she's got that cauldron in the background. So is she going to be like a shaman? And if she is a shaman, what would she be bringing to the table? I'm going to say poisons, but she could be a good champion to bring in like a new corrosive debuff or like maybe a second champion to have infest, because right now it's just the xenomorph. I could see her bringing in infest. Yeah.
Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as a parting gift, here's a little teaser of something coming in the spring. Until next time.
So it's all coming in the spring. That would mean within the next couple of months, because it's March 1st right now. It's going to be a while. It's not going to be a while. It's going to be pretty soon. I would say within the next 2 months, we should receive all of that because by that point, it'll be summer.